And I make the case against karma in both Prometheism and Closer Encounters. In other words, if you look at reincarnation as an empirical phenomenon, the way that Dr. Ian Stevenson studied it, particularly the cases involving birthmarks and birth defects in children who remember past lives. And if you look at the whole spectrum of near-death experience accounts, post sort of accounts of people who flatlined and spent a certain, period of time dead, as it were, and had, hellish or heavenly experiences in that interim, you come to the conclusion that we are not living in a cosmos that is governed by any kind of moral system, in that simplistic sense where, because you did good deeds or were a beneficent or compassionate person, somehow you're going to be rewarded with a positive afterlife experience, and you're going to go on to be reincarnated under better conditions than in your previous life. No, the empirical evidence is very much to the contrary. And if anything, it looks, as I've argued, it looks like we're inside some kind of a psychotronic control system. Now, again, I'm not saying that the Aeon is directly responsible for that system, but the Aeon, as in the parable Before the Law from Kafka that I brought up, the Aeon may be looking to see us rebel against the Aeons that manage that system, and to basically assert our individuality and reclaim our autonomy. The Aeon may be looking to see that from out of individuals who would then be considered worthy to harvest in any given age before the end of any given world.
So this harvesting, would that mean that they would become fellow Aeons to the Satanion and participate in the management of this simulation?
In short, I think something like that. And this is why I use the metaphor of the Magic Theater from Hermann Hesse Steppenwolf. I think it's possible that this entity is looking to bring certain people into the wizard's booth. The Wizard of Oz, right? I mean, man behind the curtain.
Right.
There's a big sign, on the wizard's booth, authorized personnel only. There's APO signs, right? And I think that certain people who pass a test of intelligence and a test of character over long stretches of time, throughout the course of an entire epoch, throughout the history of the life of a world, certain individuals pass through the transmigration process in a way that makes them worthy candidates for collaboration and co-creation together with the Aeon. I mean, this is an idea that very much goes back to Zarathustra, an ancient Iranian thought, and the idea of the human individual as a co-collaborator with Ahura Mazda in the struggle against Ahriman, or the principle of death, ultimately the principle of entropy on a cosmic scale.